Alright, I'm going to show you how to place a textured photo on this cube here. And this is a multi-step process. You really have to pay attention. So I would do a step, pause it if you need to, and then do the next step, pause it when you need to. Okay, right now the cube is in object mode. I'm going to switch it to edit mode. And then up in this corner there's a little triangle and a left click, hold, and drag. And I'm going to create another viewport area right here. I'm going to left click and drag, make this a little bit thinner. Alright, so before we do this, I want to explain. When you put an image on, it's better to use, okay, make sure you're on Cycles Render, because this is not going to work unless you're on Cycles Render. Then you're going to go over here down to the bottom instead of 3D View. I'm going to left click on that, and I'm going to switch Node Editor, and then this grid pops up. Okay, we're going to add new material. So this is like when you're in the properties panel over here and then you click on this and then you say, oh, I'm adding new material there and I'm going to use my nodes. This is the same concept right here. This is the node. So right now it's currently set to a color, but I want to go ahead and introduce an image that will be overriding the color. So Shift A, when I'm here, just like you would, any of the keyboard shortcuts that work here will work over here. Shift A, and then I'm going to actually add texture. Image texture. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to connect color to the default color right here. I left click. I just literally left click, hold, and then this string comes along, and then I can match it with the color here. See, there's that pattern. You just connect the similar colors. I'm going to click open. I'm going to go to desktop, and I have the door wood that I'm going to highlight and then open in image. Okay, so I've applied this, but when I go over here and I left click in this viewport and I switch it from solid and I go to material, actually rendered, it's just brown. Okay, it's not actually showing the texture because you have to do something else. There's something called UV Unwrapping. So with UV Unwrapping, you're going to take this cube and you're going to take all of it and flatten it down to a 2D shape. And you're going to take up all the faces and split them up. So this is where I go to UV Image Editor. So I kind of think about it as like wrapping paper around a box. That wrapping paper, that's what the image is. It wraps itself around the actual mesh. Alright, so here we are over here. We're still in edit mode over here. Okay, so I'm going to hit A. So I'm going to select this. It's going to tap the letter U while I'm in edit mode. And we are going to do a smart UV unwrap. So this will automatically split everything up. Otherwise, you would mark seams. And we're going to do that on the other example. So I'm going to smart UV project. The settings are fine. Hit OK. All right, so it's taken all of these faces and placed them on a flat surface grid. I'm going to go to open. Going to go back to my desktop. Going to go get that door wood. Hit open. Zoom back out, and now it has something to identify. It knows that it's going to take this face, put it on this part of the texture. This face is going to go on this texture. Now, if you ever want to move these faces around, you can. I am going to click on this right here, and then I prefer this. I mean, I click off of it, and it does the same thing, but I like this one because it kind of simplifies it. Okay, so now I get the same tools that I would have here in edit mode, and then I can go to my faces, and I can right click. See, it's orange, just like a right click on that, and then I can tap G, letter G, as in good, and I can move it around. So maybe I don't want the texture here, but on this face, I want the texture over here. So you can move these faces around and decide what texture you're going to actually see. But I'm going to undo that. Control Z or Command Z on a Mac. And now when I come over here and I go to rendered and I zoom in, there's the wood grain texture. Yep, right on the cube. So that's how you actually use the UV Unwrap and add image to a texture.